One of the most important things in our world as we live in now is communication, and talking about history helps us understand others, helping us understand ourselves. The Diary of Anne Frank has been cemented as one of the best-selling books and received various adaptations into plays, films, and even into a TV miniseries. The diary tells the story of a young girl named Anne Frank who went into hiding in order to escape persecution from the Nazi Germans. The diary was originally published in 1947 and published in the English language in 1952. Today we're going to be covering the 2009 film adaptation of The Diary of Anne Frank. The film begins by telling the story from July 6, 1942. Anne's sister Margot had received a deportation order from the Gestapo, and this is what initially caused the Franks to go into hiding. Anne and the rest of her family had planned to do so already, but now with the new order, things became a little more urgent.
Where's she not going?
Summons was for me.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Who's that friend of yours? You think there's no one here?
Why are they sending her?
It's because I'm 16.
Why didn't you tell me?
We thought you were too young.
Too young.
Annalise, sit down now. You must listen to me very carefully. We've been making arrangements to go into hiding for some
Hiding?
time.
Where?
We plan to leave in about 10 days' time, but we've had to change.
Is it in the country?
The story goes on, and we start to see the writings and the complications of Anne Frank come to life in this film.
These modern girls.
Margot, stick up for me. Mum.
One of the things that caught my attention early on was the setting. From watching this film, the secret annex area seemed larger than I thought it was. There were times where I felt as if this could probably be just another part of the house. That's when I realized that this was probably an accurate depiction, since that's exactly what a secret annex was. Just an extension to the house that was hidden, although in the Franks' case it was an extension to an office. I went on and decided to look at the Anne Frank house through the virtual tour that is available online at the Anne Frank House website. I then realized that this extension was actually very cramped, especially when trying to fit 8 people for months. The website is kind of difficult to navigate, but it gives another level of insight into what the Franks had to make work with while they were in hiding. They had to stay completely silent while the workers were in offices so that they wouldn't be discovered. They also had to eat off of rations that Meep, a friend on the other side, would bring them. As you can imagine, this was a very difficult lifestyle, and her diary shows that. However, there are some parts that seem a little forced. Being this is a movie adaptation, I can understand the introduction of some humorous elements or such things that would provide a form of entertainment, but I'm not entirely too sure how I feel about it. An example of this can be revealed within the following scene.
Do you think they've got bases on the coast?
Of course, some of them must be.
I suppose sometimes they must put petrol in and think it's full.
It's getting cold up here.
Find it's empty and then accidentally-
It's so boring. We've been shut up together so long that everyone knows what everyone else is going to say.
They must have
The punchline of every joke, the end of every story. We're driving each other crazy.
That is the stupidest comment I've ever heard.
But why aren't the British carrying out any bombing raids today?
Because the weather's bad.
Yes, but it was nice yesterday and they weren't flying then either.
Oh, shut up!
Can't a person talk?
Not in your case.
Mr. Frank always answers his wife.
She doesn't talk such rubbish.
I'm only trying to make conversation.
And when she does talk, it's usually something pleasant.
After a bit of reflection, I feel as if this is an excellent way to appeal to viewers, especially viewers of a younger age. This also captures Anne's playful personality. This is different than traditional storytelling or published writings of Holocaust stories, but it isn't necessarily a bad thing. This film adaptation is a little under 2 hours, and I think it's something that's a great way to stay informed while also not having to watch something in more of a linear documentary style video. If the story of Anne Frank and other Holocaust stories are something that you have even the slightest interest in, I would definitely recommend watching this film. There are many events that I purposefully left out during my review, but if you'd like to find out about them, then I guess watching this film is something that you'll have to think about doing. That's all for today's review, but maybe you've already seen this adaptation of the film, or came back after watching it. What are your thoughts on the film?